I knew something had happened anyways because I had never had that type of sex before, and where he did it at, I realized, what had happened. So, and unfortunately,
Okay, Nikki, where you from
I'm
and how old are you?
from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My name's Nicole, and I'm 49 years old.
49 years old.
49 years old.
Great, great. How long you been down here?
I'd say it's going on about 15 years.
Oh, okay, you've been down here quite a while.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Did you grow up with both of your parents?
Yes,
You
I did.
did.
Yes.
Okay. How's your relationship with your mom?
They're all deceased. My parents are deceased, and my brother. They all passed about 7 years ago.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. How was your relationship with your mom growing up?
Um, I was the middle child. It was a little never needed anything or wanted. I wanted things, but didn't need for anything. My sister had a lot of complications at birth, so I was kind of put on the back burner. So I ran away at a young age.
Right.
I didn't get back till later in my 20s until took care of them until they passed away.
Oh, okay. So you had a fairly okay relationship.
Yeah, I did. I did.
And how did your mom pass away?
She was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer
Oh, okay, cancer.
with 2 months to
Wow.
live. Yeah.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
hmm
And what about your relationship with your dad growing up?
Um, we had a good relationship. I lived in a working family, so we were always on a schedule. One would come home from work and the other one would leave for work. So I was never with both parents at the same time. So it was a little struggle with all three of us. Um,
What
but
did your dad do as a career?
he was a steel worker.
Steelworker. Oh,
Yes,
wow, that's a
he
nice
worked for the
job.
union.
Nice job.
Yes.
And how did he pass away?
He was diagnosed with a terminal illness about 7 years ago.
How long ago did he pass?
Uh, it's been about 7 years.
7 years? Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that.
Mhm.
And siblings? How many brothers and sisters?
I have one sister, younger, and I have one brother. He was older,
He passed away as well?
also 7 years ago.
Oh,
He OD'd. He was a police officer.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Sorry to hear that. So you had a lot of people that passed in your life.
yeah. It's pretty much what put me out here.
Wow. So
Yeah,
it's been a little rough for you in the
right.
past years.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Now your sister, is she still alive?
Yes, she is.
Oh, okay. How's your relationship with her?
Um, we have a good relationship. I can call her, talk to her anytime I need to do that. But she doesn't have the understanding about what an addict is and be homeless. She doesn't understand why I have myself out here when I don't need to be out here.
Okay.
But just I'm addicted to the street. I've always been addicted to the streets. It's not really the drugs anymore. I could put them down if I really wanted to. Um, just don't know how to get past like the losses, the all the trauma and stuff. It's just, drugs make me not think about that type of things.
How was your relationship with her growing up?
Um, we were so close together. We were only 10 months apart. Like I said, she had a cleft palate, so she was always having a lot of surgeries when we were younger.
Mm,
So I was home a lot by myself. I felt like I was kind of pushed to the side a little bit.
right.
So
Because
I
she,
rebelled. I ran away. I ran away when I was 12, and I went back when I was 32, and then it died when I was 42. So I took care of my father and mother over in Coconut Creek for about 10 years, I'd say.
wow. Wow.
On and off, did the house cleaning and the cooking. They weren't sick the whole time, but as the years went, they did. They had.
Okay. So before their passing, you redevelop a nice relationship with
Yes,
them.
I did. I
Oh,
did.
that's
I mean,
good. That's great. A lot of people don't get that chance.
yes.
That's wonderful, actually. Yeah. Yeah. And what's your current relationship status? Are you married?
No, I'm single.
You're
I'm
single.
single. Yes.
Have you been married in the past?
No.
Engaged?
No.
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 Oh, okay. And what about kids?
I have no children. No. I never even got pregnant until I moved here about 15 years ago, and I was pregnant for 3 months and didn't know it, and miscarried in the street here.
You miscarried.
In
Oh,
the
I'm
street.
sorry to hear that. And that was how long ago?
That would have been. I was probably 2 years in, so that would have been 12 years ago, I guess.
12 years. Wow. And that was the only time you were
Ever
actually.
got pregnant? Yes.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. You miscarried. Wow. Wow. What's your favorite color?
I would say purple.
Purple. Okay. Do you have
Reminds me
any
of my
favorite?
mother
Oh, your mother?
because of pancreatic cancer. So,
Oh, the purple ribbon.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's nice. Wonderful. And do you have any favorite TV shows?
Um, I'm gonna be honest. Ever since I've been in the industry, I probably only watched TV one time.
Did you have one when you were younger?
Probably. I was always into reality TV, so I liked Big Brother was a big thing I
Big
watched all the
Brother.
time.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Um,
Oh, okay. But you don't watch TV lately?
no, if I do, it's
Hmm.
football.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
football fan.
Sports. Oh, okay.
I grew up like 3 miles from Pittsburgh Steelers, the Three River Stadium.
Oh, wow. You're a Steelers fan.
Yeah, I'm a diehard
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. For
Most Steelers
sure.
fans are. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And Nikki, do you have any poisons? Are you currently on any type of drugs?
Yes, sir. I've been addicted to crack cocaine since I was 12 years old, and I recently had put it down and picked it back up. I was off for about 6 months. I just recently picked it back up again because of the streets. I also do flocka.
Flocka?
Yeah.
Okay. And for
Um,
people that don't know, what is Flocka?
um, it's a bath salt. It's a man-made drug here now. Back in the day, there was a certain drug they used, but it was banned from China. So now they've learned how to redevelop it and make it's a man-made drug.
New formula?
I call it my speedy weed high. I don't have to do crack or weed. It's a mixture of both.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I don't have to do two drugs. I do one, pretty much.
And you said you got addicted to crack when you was 12 years old.
Yeah, I was babysitting for a crack family. Well, a family. The father was a crack dealer, and the payment was supposed to be marijuana, but they were out, and they turned me on to crack that day.
Wow. So when you was 12, you babysat,
I was
and they
babysitting.
usually pay you in marijuana.
Yes, sir.
And they were out of marijuana that day, so
They
they
turned me on
paid
to
you in
crack
crack
cocaine. Yes, sir.
at 12 years old.
Yes, sir.
Wow. And did you know what it was when they gave it to you?
I had heard of it. No, but I I took a custom real quick to it,
Wow.
and something I've always dealt with. Um, it, Over the years, I've learned how to let it control it, and not let it control me. So I
Hmm.
don't like if I don't have it, I'm not like gonna kill someone or rob for it, or it don't do that for me anymore. It just mentally takes that pain away.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much.
And you said you were sober for 6 months.
Yeah,
What
recently I got up it for 6 months.
what do you think was the cause of your relapse?
They were giving it to me free. They give it to me free now. Before I had to pay for it, but because I got off it, they started giving it to me free to get me back on it.
Wow. They gave it to you free?
They give it to me free. They got me addicted again by giving it to me free.
Wow. Wow.
That's my choice. I mean, I'm the one who picked it back up, but at least I got back
And
on
you
it.
were addicted ever since 12.
12 years old. I've only been clean 9 months. I did a program, court-ordered program when I first got down here. Got in a little trouble with over in Manatee County on the
Hmm.
other coast, Bradenton, and I was court-ordered. I moved here and court-ordered to Stepping Stones for 9 months. So I did Stepping Stones for 9 months. For the
Wow.
longest I've ever been off it.
Wow. Nikki, what do you do as far as income? How do you make your money?
I would say one thing, but it's not just one thing. It's numerous things. I work the streets any way possible to make money.
Okay.
Hustle, dates, rob, steal, usually from uh, million, franchises. Never really the streets or the people in the streets.
Hmm.
I don't take from people in the street, or my licks or anything like that. I might have in the past, but I've learned from my mistakes not to do that. Um, so it took a long time, but I believe in karma, so I don't. I get in and I take care of what I need to do. It's just I know it's probably not the right thing to do, but I'm not married, so I'm not committing a crime besides for someone's husband. I guess I don't know.
Mm.
I feel bad, but I feel like it's more their fault than mine because they're married. I didn't say I do. You know what I mean? They asked me for a date. I don't ask them for dates. So
And you said when did you first started prostituting?
soon as my parents died, 15 years ago.
15 years. And do you have any
No,
regulars?
not 15. I'm sorry. It would be 7 years. 7 years.
7 years
Yes.
ago. And do you have any regulars?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yes, I do.
And how are they treating you?
They treat me well. They treat
They,
me well.
they treat you good?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm guessing it's the randoms that you got to be careful of, right?
I had to learn from my mistakes once again. I have been stabbed, raped, kidnapped out here in these streets.
Hmm.
I had to learn the hard way.
You've been stabbed,
I could pretty much look a person in the face and know if it's a good idea to get in or not at this point now.
and you said you've been stabbed.
Yeah, I got stabbed here at the terminal.
What happened?
A gentleman, I bought a phone from a gentleman, and it was actually his girlfriend's. And then one of his friends stole it from me, so I couldn't get it back for the girl that had pictures and family numbers and stuff. So I ended up getting stabbed up here at the terminal about, I guess, 2 years ago.
Did you go to the hospital? Was it that
Yeah, I was
bad?
in the hospital for 5 weeks almost up at North Broward.
Wow. So it's life threatening.
Yeah, he was military. He could have killed me if he wanted, but I think the streets had put him up, like pushed him to a point where he had to do something. So he tapped me just enough to hit the colon, but he didn't. He's like I said, he was military. He could have killed me. I knew he was the first man I ever met out here. It was never a tricking situation. It was always strictly business with the man. Like I would run his phone for him for music for an hour or two, give him some money or drugs. Um,
Wow.
and at this particular time, someone just stole the phone from me after they fed me. They
Hmm.
gave me some a joint with Fetty on it, and I fell out, and they stole the phone from me, so I couldn't get it back. So the girl wanted it back, he couldn't get it back, so I ended up getting stabbed at the terminal.
So you've used fentanyl before?
Not knowingly.
Oh, okay.
If I'm using it, it's because they're putting in something I'm buying.
Mm.
It's not because I'm on fentanyl. I'm not on fentanyl.
Wow. Wow. And you mentioned you were raped before. What happened?
I was raped. My old man was in prison, and I had a best friend. Well, I called him my protector. While he was in prison, I would do dates and pay him to keep an eye on me. He had we made an apartment out of his sister, one of his sister's house down on Dixie Highway. And I came home one morning and he gave me a piece of crack that had fentanyl on it, and I fell out. And when I looked up, I knew I had been raped. There was a gentleman in the house that used to sleep on the couch. I paid him to tell me what happened, and he told me what happened. And I knew something had happened anyways because I had never had that type of sex before, and where he did it at, I realized, what had happened. So, and unfortunately, I ended up catching HIV from the man, um, not knowing he had HIV. Um, I caught it within a week. I was on prep. I just was so tired. I had missed a couple of days, and I think he knew I couldn't love him the way he wanted me to love him. That's why he did it. So, where I come from, HIV wasn't something they talked about. The statistics up north are very little compared to this county. I had no idea. You know, it was something I even had to be concerned with, and I wasn't having sex with the man, so I didn't. He never told me, anyways. He had got out of prison a year prior, knowing he had it. He never told me he had it. I had did oral sex with the man a few times, but like I said, my man was in prison, so I didn't want to cheat on him. When I went to work, that was a job for me. It wasn't a relationship status. I was waiting on him to get out. So unfortunately, I had caught the HIV. I had did maybe a few dates in between knowing and finding out. So I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say from that.
So
I
the
wanted to
guy that
say
was,
that because
so the gentleman that was supposed to be your protector, he pretty much took advantage of you. He gave you crack with fentanyl on it,
yes, sir, and it made me fall
and
out.
he pretty much took advantage of you whilst you were out.
Yes, sir.
And you found out
I was raped and
afterwards what had happened.
I
And
was he raped me in the anal. So I encountered HIV from him.
now, how did you find out for sure that you were HIV positive?
3 days later, no, 5 days later, we had went to a church for homeless people here in Pompano,
Yeah.
and they were giving out gift cards for to get tested, and we both came up with, we both showed up for HIV, and I had said to the man, "Can you tell me 100% if he gave it to me?" He said, "I can't tell you that." He said, "But I can tell you one thing: he had it longer than you," and that's,
Wow.
that's all I could think of because I wasn't having sex without no protection
Wow.
at that time.
I'm sorry to hear that. Man, you had a real rough life. Wow. And do your Johns know?
Ever since I found out anyone after that, I'm told I have HIV or have not done any type of business with the man without using a condom.
Mm,
If I didn't specifically say I had it, I made sure it was a condom used. I made a mistake in the beginning. I was scared to tell people,
right.
but I made sure there was a condom used, and I was on protection.
Do you remember the first time you actually dated someone or did prostitution?
Um, I do. I believe it. I do. What do you want to know about that?
It was a while ago.
Hey, it was probably my parents had 7 years, so I'd say probably about 8 years ago was my first time I ever did it. But as far as working as a prostitute, it was probably 7 years ago.
Now, what about your educational background? Did you finish high school?
I failed my senior year. There was a lot of issues going on with my. I felt I had some problems with showing up for school, so I had to do a essay, and I didn't do that essay, so they failed my senior year. I failed my senior year. I never went back.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. I completed it, but I failed it.
So you didn't finish. Did you ever go back and get like your GED?
No, I did not.
No.
I went to food service school. I did graduate from technical school for food service. It was a technical, tech situation.
Have you ever had any regular jobs?
Yeah, I used to be a cashier for a BP station up north. I did that for about 7 years.
Okay.
I've had numerous jobs. I've been landscaper, daisy maids. I've always worked a job until I moved here with my parents. Even here, when I first moved here, I worked as a housekeeper over at the Boca West Country Club for probably a year. I was an alcoholic. She ended up firing me and a functioning crack addict at the time. And unlawfully fired me, so I had collected for a couple years. And that's when I started the street.
Okay. Okay. What's your current living situation right now?
I'm homeless.
You're homeless?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So what do you do at night as far as staying safe?
I just try to find a safe spot to sleep in. It's been hard. I used to be on the other side of Pompano. I have moved over here to the. I was on the east side. I'm on the west side now. It's a little less. I can sleep better over here. I can tell you that.
Oh, okay.
I sleep better here in 5 months
So,
than I had in 7 years over there. So
mhm. So the risk factor is lower over here.
for me, it is.
Oh,
For me, it
okay.
is.
Okay. And are you a loner or do you hang with groups?
I try to be a loner.
You're a loner?
Yeah, they seem to flock to me.
Hmm.
I try to be a one-on-one person. I'm not in groups. I don't like groups at all.
Oh,
I'm trying to get in the program now. I'm working on that. I let my disability go a few years back, about 5 years ago. So I haven't had any type of government funding or help from them in over 5 years. I haven't got food stamps, government phones, nothing like
hmm.
that. I haven't taken advantage of any of that.
Wow. Wow. So you are seeking help right now as far as housing?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into. I'm not, I might as well just say I'm trying to get into Broward House. It's
Hmm.
just I'm having a little difficulty with that because of the fact every time I get a phone, they steal it from me. And they don't want. Every time I try to get it to unemployment, the buses get halted. Something happens where they they shut it down so I can't get to where I need to be.
Right.
I'm serious. It's been doing that for probably the last 7 months, on and
Mm.
off, trying to get to different appointments. I can't make it to any of them
Wow.
because they'll shut the bus down, make it late, halt me somehow or another.
Wow.
It's just I can play the blame game, but it happens every freaking time. Every time
Wow.
I get a phone, they steal it. 5 phones in 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, I lost five
Oh
phones.
my goodness.
5 phones.
Wow.
And it's not like they're getting much for them. $7 in the machine. It is up. They don't want me having a phone. They don't
Mm.
want me out of here. They don't want me to leave.
Have you ever tried to seek therapy?
Um, I've gone to I have. I've gone to Henderson, but they they pushed me somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? They'll like I was just at Henderson maybe 2 weeks ago. I spent the night there. I was in like a little crisis situation, and in the morning they sent me somewhere else.
Mm.
But really, I should have been there to get my psych evaluation. You know, about a year prior, I had gone over to they vapor acted me over here. Took me to not vapor acted me. I got a little. I went for a meeting somewhere at the church. They banned me from the church because they broke the promise to me, so I got a little irate. So then the cops had taken me over to Imperial Point, and they were doing an evaluation over there, and I wasn't even there maybe an hour before a gentleman started jacking the stick in front of me, and I wanted to pull the curtain in front of me, and they wouldn't let me pull the curtain in front of me, so I started a verbal argument with these people, and they pretty much beat me up, made me get dressed and threw me out the back door. Told me Broward County sheriffs were waiting for me out the back door at 2:30 in the morning, but there was no one there.
Wow.
So I had to walk from Imperial Point all the way back to here at 2:30 in the morning
Wow.
because I didn't want to watch a gentleman jack their dick.
Wow. So even seeking therapy, it's been tough
Yeah,
situations.
you're right. I had to go all the way to West Palm Beach just to get into a psych hospital for a week just to try to get things. And that
Get
was
things
about
right.
8 months ago. But it's just everything just falls apart every time I try to do something.
What do you do as far as taking care of your mental yourself? Like,
I
what do you do
use
as far as
drugs. I use drugs because if I don't use drugs, then I'm a basket case.
you don't
Because of therapy, because
draw,
I think about it.
no walks on the beach, you don't
No,
draw?
I mean, I kind of stuff that I do if I can get out. If I can
Oh,
get out,
okay.
I can do that. I'm good when I get out.
But for the most part, the drugs is your escape from your
The
situation.
thinking part, yeah, it
Wow.
escapes that thinking.
Wow. Anything else you want to talk about that you might not have touched on?
Um, no, I'm just sad for a lot of these women. That's it. You know, even the men, even some of the men. It's just sad, you know. I'm to a point where now I don't even want to leave. I can't take at least one fucking person with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd rather just die in the street.
And what's your plans for the future? What's your immediate plans? Like, what do you think you have to do to get right?
I have to get my housing and just my housing, and that's my priority right now. Is my housing. Now that unfortunately I have what I have, I'm eligible for full housing. You know, so
So
I just
your
need to take
goal,
advantage of that, but I can't make it to appointments. That's the problem. It's the appointments and the making it on time situation.
so your goal now is to get into a place,
Housing. Yeah.
and you think you'll be okay from there. Wow.
Yeah, because treatments that I think I'm to a point I don't want to be around nobody. I don't want to be around groups of people. I'm always looking behind me. I'm paranoid. I mean,
I hear you.
it's just pushed me to a point I don't know how to get out of it.
I hear you. Okay, Nikki, this was a great interview. It's wonderful talking to you. I wish you the best in the future. I hope all your plans work out for you. I hope you get in a nice place and you're able to advance in the future. And hopefully next time I see you, you'll be in a better position.
Thank